Marcus's team obviously has been through a lot in the last week. Just what's been, you guys seem so hyper-focused and confident still. What's gone behind that? Like, how do you guys feel right now?
We feel good. We trust in each other. We believe in the coaches, and we just trust in each other, and we're confident in each other.
I guess, Marcus, over your career, you've gotten really comfortable in the mid-range. How did you kind of develop that skill, and where did that kind of start for you as a player?
I don't know, really. I just, I felt like my freshman year, I was kind of getting stuck a lot in the mid-range area, and I didn't really have anything to do. So, I just got in the gym and worked on it.
Justin, Coach Underwood kind of gave us the impression that over the last couple of weeks he feels like something flipped for you. Do you kind of get a feeling of what that was and how things have kind of been a little bit easier for you the last couple of weeks?
I just feel like a lot. I'm just calming down a lot and trusting my team as they're going to give me the ball in the right spot and just making shots. So, yeah.
Marcus, I know you worked in the mid-post at SIU. At what point did you know that posting up like this would be something you'd do at Illinois? Was it something they talked about in the recruiting process or during the summer? What point did you know playing this booty ball is something you'd be doing?
We talked about it a little bit in the recruiting process. Not really. It was really just one day we had a film session, and TA, Tyler, they just sat us down there like we think like, you and Ty can really take advantage of guards doing this. So it was one day, I don't remember when it was, but just watched film and we decided that we felt like that we had an advantage there.
It's Marcus, just offensively made the most efficient game of the season for you guys. Just what leads to a game like tonight, just to have that kind of performance?
Just ball movement, really. Trusting each other that if you give it up, you're still gonna get it back. We just trust in each other, ball movement, and guys are hitting their shots. Justin's finding his rhythm, Quincy's finding his rhythm, Coleman, Luke. The list goes on and on. When guys hit shots, the floor just opens up.
I guess for either or both of you, Chris Collins talked about just how your offense and the way you attack matchups can stress defenses. Why do you guys think you guys are successful in running the offense that you guys run?
I feel like we got a good coaching staff with our scouting reports, so they notice a lot of weaknesses in the defense. So when we just go through the scout the whole week, we just stress it and just work on it the whole week. So, yeah.
You guys had to do obviously Boo Boo, he's one of the better guards in the Big Ten. You guys had to guard him as well in addition to the offense. So talk about defensively what you were able to do with him.
We just put a lot of different people on him. Ty started on him, I guarded him, Justin guarded him. We have an athletic, longer team where, when you throw different guys to, maybe be more physical with them or a little bit longer, like that can kind of wear on players. So, we have depth in the defensive end too.
Justin, what have you guys shown yourselves the last two games?
That we can well, I'm sure that coach say this a lot, but we a real connected team, from 1 through 8. So whenever we locked in every day in practice. When we not in practice, we always locked in. But we just a real connected team. Just love having fun with each other and just winning. We all got the same goal to win. So yeah, that's great.
I guess for either of you, we hear that a lot, how connected you guys are. So how is that developed, and what's that feel like? What does it feel like to be on a team that's as connected as you are versus maybe in the past if you've not been?
You got
it. It's just fun, we enjoy being around each other. It's not we see each other in practice and that's when we see each other. We hang out with each other, we have fun with each other, we joke around, the locker room's fun, and I think that just carries on to the court. You see the joy that we play with. We love making plays for each other, and it's just contagious. It spreads.
Justin, you had to adapt a role to a new team and then probably have to adapt again a little bit with the hole you guys have on offense. So what's that been like for you to step up as a scorer the last couple of games?
It's been fun. I really love my new role. It's just playing as hard as I can on the defensive end and just taking what the game give me on the offensive end. I'm not really looking to score. I'm really looking to be unselfish, help my teammates make them better, and just win. Whatever I can do to win, whatever Coach Brad tell me to do.
And Marcus, I mean, not to belabor the mid-range point, but just was there like a player that you may looked at, someone that was good in that area that you kind of tried to mold your game a little bit after?
I mean, I worked a lot. I give a lot of credit to Rob Dozier. He's one of my guys. He was a GA at SIU that I worked out with a lot, and we watched a lot of film on guys like Jason Tatum, Bradley Beal, Luka. I just watched a lot of film with him, and we got in the gym every day and just worked on stuff like that. So, just a lot of credit to him for, kind of expanding that game for me.
For either of you guys, Chris Collins talked about you guys getting the 50-50 balls and just seemed like you had an edge about you, like Luke diving on the floor like that. What went into that, do you think, for you guys, and how big was that to set the tone in that way?
It's a real big thing, where we always got to be the first team to the floor. So if we don't get on the floor first, we gonna hear it from the big dog. So we just try to play as hard as we can for each other. So yeah, first man on the floor always win. So yeah.
That'll wrap us up for play.
It's so rare in this league. Northwestern's really good, it's a little misleading when you make shots. And tonight we made shots, and we got good looks, but we made shots. And I thought that Ty, actually got us going early, and unfortunately picked up a couple quick ones. But obviously Marcus was huge, we had a pretty good idea, where their doubles were coming. Marcus is really hard to bother in a double team, and both he and Ty, because they're big and strong. And there's cylinder rules that have to be watched, and but I thought Coleman Hawkins was elite on the defensive side. I thought Quincy had some very well timed cuts against what their rotations were. Again, 10 of 18 from three, and you shoot 62%. I'll be excited to really start watching the guts of the game to see how it was. Try to take the made shots out of it. But great game for Justin. Again, 30 minutes. I thought he's being rewarded for his hard work, and that's tremendous to see. So, I thought that defensively we did a good job forcing. They shot 50% from three, but a bunch of those were late. But I thought we did a good job on Boo. No assists, 4 turnovers, and he's going to be in action, so he's going to score some points. But again, I just thought we did what we needed to do on that side tonight.
Brad, obviously you go booty ball, and Chris said it reminded him of Jalen Pickett, like you talked about. But how key are those big men you have to making this all work? Like this personnel group you have, is this better than you expected it to be?
I've always said that Coleman's a really, really good shooter, and he's proving that. But he's also a really good passer, and he's very cerebral in his slip outs and everything else. His ability to decide when to roll, and so all that becomes really important. And then, again, Quincy's a great cutter. He's a violent downhill driver. So yeah, and I think the one thing is we have multiple guys that can do it. It's not just Pickett. We're going to try to get into it with, as we started the game with Ty. When we saw Boo on Ty, that was the go mode, and unfortunately got in foul trouble. We also had some situations where, we like it with Quincy. But again, they can all really pass, and they're big and strong, so doubles have been they've handled them.
Brad, you said to us the other day about Justin that this new role at Illinois couldn't have been easy for him to adjust to early on. What are you seeing that has allowed him to make it look easier?
Well, he's simplifying. He's not trying to do too much. I thought at times you can try so hard to be a really good player, and sometimes it's just settling into what the offense gives you, what we need you to do. Run really hard, guard your tail off. The ball instinctively finds him a lot, and then it's shoot open shots, and if they fly at you, drive it. And it's been that simple, but it doesn't happen like that. It takes time.
Brad, at what point was what you're doing with Marcus right now come into your vision? Was this something you thought about when you recruited him, or when you got him in the summer and played with it? When did you lean into that the way you have?
Well, we knew he could do it because he did a lot of it at Southern Illinois. I mean, he found his way into post ups from different areas, and so we knew that was going to be. I don't know if we knew it was going to be like this, and we really knew we really thought about it a lot more with Ty when we moved him to the point that okay, this is a guy that can be because he's in our league, a picket guy, and it's just blossomed from there, and again Coleman and Luke and all those guys are keys because they can make shots.
So he had 21 assists Friday against Fairleigh Dickinson, 17 on 35 makes tonight. Just what are you seeing from the ball movement where you're getting those numbers now?
The right reads, and unselfish play. It's turning down a good one to get a great one, and I think that there's you not only have to be a good shooter, but you got to be a really good passer, and you got to have some instincts and feel and. Our turnovers are down, or 10 turnovers tonight in a game that you scored 94, whatever we scored, it's 96, and you're going to have a few, but we're a very unselfish, connected group.
Coach, can you just talk to the scouting report for this game and the matchups you felt you could exploit and actions you think you could run out of the double teams in the post? Well,
we knew their scheme, and we know what they like to do. I mean, I think they were one of the best defenses last year in the country, and but again, we felt like that there were some challenges that they might have guarding us, and again, if Boo's going to get 20, we want to make him guard at the other end. We want to have him be responsible for for having to guard there, but. Again, it was just kind of finding the right matchup at the right time, and giving the ball to Ty or giving the ball to Marcus. Tonight was a lot of Marcus, and and then just making plays and reads out of it.
Coleman, you mentioned Coleman's defense. What does he give you defensively that
everything
allows you to do all this?
Everything that you don't have to coach, and what I mean by that is he is instinctive. He's smart. He's coming over in timeouts. He's talking to me constantly. I like, why did they score there? And he knows that it didn't even enter. Doesn't understand. The play might not have had him in it. He just understands everything about that side of the floor. And then he's got length, and then he's got the mobility to guard a lot of guys. And and we got him on a switch there with Boo in the first half, and he's pretty good with that. And so he does everything we don't coach, and then he knows our stuff really well, and he knows the scouting report really well.
Brad, the effort plays tonight, Luke diving on the floor, just seemed like you guys had a energy and edge to you. How did you see that?
It's usually Yeah, I wasn't very happy at the one at the end of the first half when Barnheiser's. I think they got 3 offensive rebounds and there was a loose ball and we didn't get on it, and that was one of the first comments I made at halftime. And you always remember the ones that you don't get more than you remember the ones we actually do get. But we talk about those things daily. That's winning a possession like that is, one, very deflating for your opponent, but it helps you win a game that you maybe in a 2-possession game is a difference maker. And all that is effort and want to and desire and wanting to win worse than your opponent. And excuse me. And Luke's great at that. And we got a whole team full of guys like that.
Brad, this last week obviously could have been a distraction, a speed bump for your team. What do you credit their focus and their confidence through that to?
They're very connected, as I've said. I keep going back to that. I don't know what other word to use. And they have tremendous desire and passion, and then they all believe in their abilities. And it's a tribute to them. It really is.
Brad, we've heard the term connected from literally everyone we talk to. So what do you know, and what as a coach are you looking for that you kind of maybe see those signs that it's to the level that you guys are describing it as?
If I'm not anything else, and I think everybody else will do, I pay attention to literally everything that involves our players, like who hangs out, how they hang out, who they're are there little cliques, or are there little this or that, and you start doing that right away, and it has been like remarkable, just remarkable how this group as a whole hangs out. It doesn't matter, you got Quincy coming in from Oregon and Justin coming in from Utah. Well, they played against each other, so there's a little bit of a relationship there. And then it's Luke's so funny and Coleman's so funny, and they're personal, and it's just been an easy fix, and it hasn't been anybody get worried about anything. They've just all fit in. Marcus is worked so hard and is funny, and he's got a great sense of humor. I can't explain it, but they all, not on it, off of it, care about each other. And there's I probably shouldn't say this, but we did a Secret Santa deal, and the thoughtfulness of the gifts that they gave each other, that was blind. It was, they didn't know who was what, but the thoughtfulness that they gave each other and the gifts were remarkable, and it fit each and every one of them. And man, I just sat back there and was like, wow, it's at another level.
Just offensive versatility from Justin Harmon over the last couple of games. What's that? Does that add a dimension to the offense?
Yeah, Justin's a really good driver of the basketball, and that's what his forte was last year coming in, was his ability to get downhill and make plays, and he's got different release angles and different areas that he can score from, but yeah, he's keeps adding. He's been good.
I mean, he's stuck with kind of those 6 for most of this game. I mean, are you thinking margin of victory, maybe offense, defensive efficiency, just may all the things that go into these rankings that at one point down the line are going to matter?
I'm thinking about winning the game, but I think you'd be foolish if you don't think about those things, the way the system's set up. Yeah. No, I'm not trying to rub any. I wasn't trying to do that. I'm not trying to be unsporting. That never crosses my mind. But with Nico out, we don't have a ton of options at the point, and so there's restricted opportunities there. But yeah, it always never leaves my mind. Thank you.